It's Gurdjieff time. I recently put up on the YouTube the book by Peter Ouspensky, Strange Life of Ivan Ossikin, which is all about time and reliving our lives over and over again. So I thought, let's do a show on time and Gurdjieff's idea of time. Obviously, in his book, Beelzebub's Tales, that I hope many of you have read, it's time, the merciless higher past that has come along to disrupt the universe and the cosmic harmony of how everything's running. And so, time, I'm not saying it's the enemy or it's the devil, but it's the thing that's come to bring, well, what has it come to bring? So I start with from All and Everything, page 35. I, of course, with the cooperation of our all common master, the merciless Hieropath, that is the flow of time, was transformed into the young man. Because time is a transformer. It's going on all the time. You know, I could do many different talks on time. I have many different ideas about it, and whether it's ongoing all the time, whether we're living the same moment over and over again. Is there lots of different times going in parallel with each other? But Gurdjieff says we mustn't waste time. We must use this time to develop ourselves. So also from All and Everything, page 121, how the being sensation of what is called the process of the flow of time in the presences of the free brain beings of that planet has gradually changed, and how this process now flows in the presence of the contemporary free brain beings there. They define the duration of their year as that period in the course of which their planet, during its movement, that is, during the process of falling and catching up, makes what is called its Crento-Narnian revolution in relation to its sun. So that's our solar return. As we all know, the sun goes round, well, we go round, sorry, the sun for 365 days, which is why we all wish each other many happy returns of the day on our birthdays, because it's the sun back into the position where it was when you yourself was born. And as Gurdjieff says, he's come here to sell us solar energy. It's all about the sun. So from All and Everything, page 123, and this is quite a long one, so be ready. The exceptional peculiarity of this cosmic phenomenon, time. Genuine objective science formulates this cosmic phenomenon thus. Time in itself does not exist. There is only the totality of the results ensuing from all the cosmic phenomena present in the given place. Time itself, no being can either understand by reason or sense, by any outer or inner being function, which is kind of true. We can't really sense time, can we? We're just aware that it's happened, you know. It's the end of the day, so the time has passed in that day. But we don't really feel or see time. The only way we see time is through a clock tick-tocking away. Right, I've forgotten where I've got to. Time itself, no being can either understand by reason or sense by any outer or inner being function. It cannot even be sensed by any gradation of instinct which arises and is present in every more or less independent cosmic concentration. It is possible to judge time only if one compares real cosmic phenomena which proceed in the same place and under the same conditions, where time is being constated and considered. It is necessary to notice that in the great universe, all phenomena in general, without exception, wherever they arise and manifest, are simply successively law-conformable fractions of some whole phenomena, which has its prime arising on the most holy Sun Absolute. And in consequence, all cosmic phenomena, wherever they proceed, have a sense of objectivity. And these successfully law-conformable fractions are actualized in every respect, and even in the sense of their involution and evolution, owing to the chief cosmic law, the sacred heptaparapashinok, as we all know, law of seven. Only time alone has no sense of objectivity, because it is not the result of the fractioning of any definite cosmic phenomenon, and it does not issue from anything, but blends always with everything and becomes self-sufficiently independent. Therefore, in the whole of the universe, it alone can be called and extolled as the ideally unique subjective phenomenon. Time is unique. Nothing else is like it. Most things we know, see, look at with our eyes, there's something akin to it, or something that relates to it. Time, nothing does. It's unique, and no one really understands it. Thus, uniquely, time alone, or as it is sometimes called the hieropath, has no source from which its arising should depend, but like divine love flows always independently by itself and blends proportionally with all the phenomena present in the given place and in the given arisings of our great universe. So that's page 123 to 4 of All and Everything. So Gurdjieff's explaining in Beelzebub's Tales that time is the thing that's making the Holy Sun absolute shrink on itself, which is where his endlessness lives. It's God or the divine's home, maybe a heaven. So on page 749, he says, our omnipotent creator for the first time made it clear, I should say our omnipotent, sorry, our omnipotent creator for the first time made it clear that the cause of this gradual diminishing of the volume of the sun absolute was merely the hieropath, that is, the flow of time itself. And also it's the way we diminish, isn't it? As time passes, we're getting closer to our death. It's like a cruel joke. We're born, but the countdown's on to our day of death. So page 1185, All and Everything. Not for nothing is it stated in that branch of genuine science entitled The Laws of Association of Human Mentation that the sensing of the flow of time is directly proportional to the quality and quantity of the flow of thoughts. What a thing, eh? We all get lost in thought, and sometimes time's just flown by and it's like, oh, what have I been thinking about? But if we use quality thought and really think about what we're thinking about, if we're conscious of what we're thinking about, sometimes time stands still. So In Search of the Miraculous, page 210. So this is from Ouspensky. When we say a thing exists, we mean by this existence in time. But there is no time in three-dimensional space. Time as we feel it is the fourth dimension. Existence is for us existence in time. Apart from existing in time, everything that exists also in eternity. Eternity is the infinite existence of every moment in time. Eternity is the fifth dimension. It is the space of time. If the space of time is four-dimensional, then the space of eternity is five-dimensional. And Ouspensky was looking into the fourth dimension for many years. He's written books on it. He was trying to understand what time is. And he says that we are living in the fourth dimension now. And that's how, because we're three-dimensional. So if time is fourth dimension, and they're saying eternity is fifth dimension because it's the next stage on. And eternity is different from infinity, he says. He explains that eternity goes on forever. And infinite you have to look up because now I've forgotten what it was. Maybe it's in these quotes. Did I write it down? So from In Search of Miraculous, page 213. Time is different in different cosmoses. Time is breath. The sleep and waking of living beings and plants, a day and night, constitute the breath of organic life. In the Vedas, in the Indian traditions, they say that our universe is breathed in and out by, I believe it's Brahma. And so he's inhaling is when the universe sucks back in. When he's exhaling, the universe is coming back out. And we're apparently still on an exhale, living this universe. And this is why they come in eras and epochs. And when he's breathing in again, this universe will change and be sucked back in, and a new universe will be brought out. So Ouspensky continues. I remember G's words that time is breath. Why asleep and wake in the breath of organic life? Plants, when asleep, that is at night, exhale, and when awake, that is by day, inhale. 2.5 million years for the life of organic life, and 75 times 10 to the power of 9 of years for that of the earth. I'm not very good with maths, but that's lots, a long time. 1/10,000th part of a second, the period of the shortest visual impression. At the same time, each of these periods denoted a corresponding but lower period in a higher cosmos and a corresponding higher period in a lower cosmos. So everything's on top of each other. It's kind of like the ladder going up. We've got the lower, us, and the higher. We're attaining to get to the higher. We don't want to drop down to the lower. Right, I was going to do from views from the real world. The only thing we can do is to economize. This is page 123. Time is proportionate to the flow of associations. It is relative. You sit at home, you are calm. You feel that you've been sitting 5 minutes, but the clock shows that an hour has gone by. Another time you are waiting for somebody in the street. You're annoyed that he does not come and you think you've been waiting an hour, whereas it is only 5 minutes. It is because during this time you had many associations. You thought, why does he not come? Maybe he's been run over, and so on. The more you concentrate, the quicker the time goes. An hour may pass unnoticed because if you concentrate, you have very few associations, few thoughts, few feelings, and time seems short. Time is subjective. It is measured by associations. When you sit without associations, time seems long. Externally, time does not exist. It only exists for us only internally. So externally, time does not exist. It exists for us only internally. As I was saying before, we don't know what time is. We can't see it, can't sense it, can't smell it. But we sense it inside ourselves, not in the outside world. We can't really be aware of it apart from how we use it to go by our day-to-day days and lives. But when we're sensing time, that's inside us. Just as in the thinking center, associations go on in other centers also. The secret of prolonging life depends on the ability to spend the energy of our centers slowly and only intentionally. Learn to think consciously, what I was saying earlier. This produces economy in the expenditure of energy. Don't dream. Done loads of shows about that. Got to try not to get caught up in imagination. It's another way of wasting time, unless it's constructive imagination maybe. But most of the time we're living in daydreams of, guys want to be the next James Bond and girls are probably dreaming about, I don't know, Superman coming and sweeping them off their feet or something. Or we're imagining better lives for ourselves, or imagining worse things happening to us, or imagining that, awful things happening to our families. I remember when I have a dog still now, but I remember when I first had a dog and I lived on my own and I gave my dog to my friend to look after while I went on holiday. And I spent the whole holiday thinking my friend's going to not look after my dog properly and I'm going to come back and my dog's going to be in a bad state. And when I came back, my dog had had a lovely time and of course my friend had looked after it well. But that's me thinking wrong thoughts, and it was really ruining everything for me, not trusting. So C.S. Knott says, time is the infinite, absolute potential of all existence. And it is. Without time, we don't exist in this world, in this dimension, in this universe. So time's running out. That was enough for me. Keep an eye on yourselves. Keep an eye on the time and see how you're spending it. Spend it wisely. Spend time wisely.